Parsons has made it clear here he did not believe that he was engaging in a, quote, formal negotiation. Quote, I have made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
I was trying to enjoy a nice Shabbat dinner in Jerusalem until I got this breaking news that something that we've been predicting for quite some time has officially happened, and Cowboy fans are panicking everywhere. But there really isn't any reason to panic because this is something that we've all expected. So for those of you guys that missed it, Micah Parsons has officially demanded a trade from the Dallas Cowboys, posting this tweet on X saying, "Thank you, Dallas. Yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. The team my pops and I grew up cheering for in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates." For those of you guys that don't know what Micah Parsons is talking about, he's talking about when Jerry Jones said this.
"Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. I had purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done. But since there's some confusion out there, let me clear some things up. I had my agent reach out to the Cowboys last offseason after my 3rd year in hopes of getting a deal done early. Unfortunately, the team did not want to start any negotiations at that point. And here's what's really frustrating about this. If the Dallas Cowboys signed a contract extension with Micah Parsons back then, he would be getting paid $35 million a year. But as a result of Max Crosby getting a contract extension, then Myles Garrett getting paid, then TJ Watt getting paid, the Cowboys waited till the last possible minute, and now it looks like Micah Parsons is in line for a $42 million contract to reset the market. Which makes sense because what he would say next is, "I was okay with that and didn't complain and focused on the 2024 season. After the season, I told my agent once again to let the team know we were open to negotiate when they met at the combine. My agent informed me that I should wait for other deals to get done because the price would only go up, but I didn't care and I wanted to secure myself as a Cowboy long term. This is before any of the other pass rusher deals got done this offseason. I knew I would be leaving money on the table, but again, I was okay with that. Again, radio silence as far as my extension. In March, I met with Mr. Jones to talk about leadership. Somehow the conversation turned into him talking contract with me. Yes, I engaged in a back and forth in regards to what I wanted from my contract, but at no point did I believe this was supposed to be a formal negotiation, and I informed Mr. Jones afterward that my agent would reach out thinking this would get things done. But when my agent reached out and spoke to Adam, he was told the deal was pretty much already done. My agent of course told him that wasn't the case and also reached out to Stephen Jones. Again, the team decided to go silent. At that point, we decided we would allow the team to reach out to us whenever they decided they wanted to talk. Yet, still not a call, email, or text to my agent about starting a negotiation. Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. Still, I stayed quiet, but again, after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives, I have made a tough decision that I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. Now, immediately, I think Micah Parsons saw what Terry McLaurin just did the other day, and we have a video that we just uploaded. If you missed it, I'm going to leave it in the end screen on the Terry McLaurin situation, and he decided to do the same thing. But if you take a look at what Micah Parsons was saying previously and compare it to now, it's really heartbreaking. This is what he said in February of 2024.
"It's extremely special. I said it the other day. I love Cowboys Nation. I'm extremely grateful to still be a Cowboy, and I hope I'm a Cowboy for life."
Ooh. This is what he said last December.
Like I said, y'all know I'm going to be a Cowboys for life. We're going to figure out a way for me to be a Cowboy for life. You know, Jay and Steven see it that way too, so.
And meanwhile, Jerry Jones is saying stuff like this.
Have you ever heard of any clubs committing to players and then they didn't pan out after they committed to them? We have.
And the thing is, Jerry Jones has consistently done this, and I don't know why he's doing it because it never ends up working out for him. It's like watching an owner consistently shoot himself in the foot. It's not like the Cowboys are close to Super Bowl contention. As a matter of fact, they're paying Dak Prescott the most money in the NFL. They're paying CeeDee Lamb $34 million annually. And now as a result of waiting this long in regards to Micah Parsons, they're probably going to have to pay him $42 million. Or or they could end up trading him. Now, this puts the Cowboys in a very tough situation, and when you actually pay attention to this situation and how the Cowboys could have avoided all of this, you'd realize how idiotic the Jones family truly is. And the worst part is they're clearly not learning from their mistakes. So check this out, okay? They could have signed Dak Prescott 2 years earlier instead of franchise tagging him, which means Dak would have been getting paid about $40 million annually as opposed to $60 million annually. If they paid CeeDee Lamb the moment he could have gone to contract extension, CeeDee would have been getting paid $23 million annually. If they paid Micah the moment he could have gone to contract extension, Micah would have been getting paid $35 million annually. But since they decided to take their sweet time and play this stupid game of poker that everyone knows that they're bluffing in, they're paying Dak $60 million a year, CeeDee $34 a year, and they're gonna have to pay Micah $43 to $45 million a year. That means they're gonna have $137 to $139 million annually allocated to 3 players against a 2025 salary cap of $279.2 million. This allocation exceeds every Super Bowl winner in the salary cap era, where championship teams have averaged just 23.9% of their cap on their top 3 players. The Cowboys entered 2025 with $32.1 million in available cap space, which is 6th in the entire NFL after making restructures to Dak and CeeDee's contracts. The Cowboys have a projected 40% plus allocation to their top 3 players if they extend Micah, which brings us to another question. Should the Cowboys consider trading Micah? Now, for those of you guys saying, but
Micah Parsons just demanded a trade.
we've seen this story before. We've seen players demand trades before, and typically it's just pressure generated to get a deal done. But there have been teams that have actually been crazy enough to trade their star edge rusher. The most recent one is Bradley Chubb, who was traded from the Denver Broncos to the Miami Dolphins for a 1st round pick and a 4th round pick. Originally, the Rams offered multiple 1st round picks for Brian Burns, but eventually he was moved to the Giants for a 2nd and a 5th. Montez Sweat landed a 2nd rounder from Chicago. But Micah Parsons is better than all of them. At 26 years old and in his absolute prime with 3 All-Pro selections already, we're talking about a potential return that could include multiple 1st round picks plus additional compensation. So if Micah was to get traded, it would resemble the Khalil Mack trade in 2018 when the Raiders sent him to Chicago for 2 1st round picks, a 3rd round pick, and a 6th round pick. But the question is, what would happen to the Cowboys if they did trade him? Cowboy fans need to understand, Micah Parsons isn't just good, he's quite literally the entire Dallas Cowboys defense. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at their numbers. As Jerry Jones mentioned in the beginning of this video,
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year.
but in reality, Micah missed 4 games with an ankle injury, and that Cowboys defense was just terrible. They allowed 400 plus yards in 4 of their first 7 games. Teams averaged 7 yards per play, and opponents converted 3rd downs at will. Parsons has accumulated 52.5 sacks in just 63 games, putting him in the same conversation as Reggie White and JJ Watt for career starts. His 21.1% pressure rate leads all edge rushers since 2021, and he's been double teamed on 35% of his pass rushes, the highest rate in the NFL, and he still dominates. No other Cowboys pass rusher has exceeded 8.5 sacks in recent seasons. Their depth chart behind Parsons looks like a grocery store list written by someone who forgot what they came to buy. They've got Dante Fowler Jr., who they originally let walk to Washington and now he's back, a rookie in Marshawn Nealand, and Sam Williams recovering from a torn ACL. That's not a depth chart, that's a prayer. The advanced metrics paint an even scarier picture. Next Gen Stats gives Parsons a composite score of 99, literally the 99th percentile among all pass rushers. His absence in 2024 led the Cowboys to getting blown out 47-9 by Detroit in one of the most embarrassing losses in franchise history. When he returned, 5.5 sacks in his first 4 games back. If the Cowboys are dumb enough to actually trade Parsons, several teams should be backing up the Brinks truck. I mean, the Chicago Bears currently sit on $73 million in cap space with a desperate need for pass rush help. New coach Ben Johnson could build his defense around Parsons, and they have the draft capital to make Dallas an offer that they can't refuse. The New England Patriots have over $61 million in cap space. Mike Vrabel could use some defensive playmakers, and pairing Parsons with their young QB Drake May may could accelerate their rebuild by years. Or what about the Las Vegas Raiders? Could you imagine Micah Parsons and Max Crosby creating the most terrifying pass rush duo in football? If the Las Vegas Raiders could get out of Christian Wilkins' contract, which we made a separate video on, and that story is absolutely insane, and I'm going to leave it in the end screen. Your guys' jaw is going to drop on that one. At the end of the day, if you're a Cowboy fan, and unfortunately I am a Cowboy fan, you have to admit the troubling aspect of this isn't the fact that the Cowboys' best overall player demanded a trade. It's the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have this incredible track record of drafting elite talent and just failing to retain them at good prices. There's no question in my mind, if the Cowboys extended Dak Prescott the moment he could have gotten extended, if they extended CeeDee Lamb the moment he was eligible for a contract extension, if they extended Micah Parsons the moment he was extension eligible, could you imagine what they could have done with the remaining cap space? Maybe Saquon Barkley joins the Dallas Cowboys as opposed to the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe you add more weapons to that defense to make it the best overall defense in football. The possibilities are endless when you have cap space. But instead, the Cowboys are stuck overpaying their top 3 players and not being able to put a good team around them, primarily because they enjoy this stupid little game of chicken with each and every one of their star players. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about all this if you're a Cowboy fan? Aside from that, I don't know if you guys heard, but Terry McLaurin just demanded a trade. We're going to break down that situation. It's vastly different than the story that I'm telling you here. I'm going to leave it in the end screen and meet you guys there. And aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.